Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back yet to another Fivem tutorial. In today's video guys, we're going to be looking at adding vehicles to your Fivem server. I'm sure if you guys are at this stage already, you should already know how to script and all that stuff, but just for the ones that's new to all this, there's just going to be a few things that you'll need for this modding, and everything that I'm going to mention in today's video guys will be in the description down below. For you guys that just want to skip to the part that will suit you best, there will be timestamps in the description down below as well. So without making this video any longer, let's jump straight to it. What you guys will need is Notepad++. I use Visual Studio, which I think it's awesome, but anyway, Notepad++ is okay for beginners, or you guys can just download Visual Studio. The links will be in the description down below. And then you'll need OpenIV. This is crucial when it comes to modding and so on. I use this a lot. So if you guys want an in-depth video on how to use OpenIV, I use this a lot for single player as well as for Fivem. Just let me know in the comment down below, and then I'll make a separate video on OpenIV. So. And then last, you'll need obviously a website. I've been using, for the past few years, I've been only using GTA 5 mods. So first things first guys, when we start off with adding vehicles to your server, so the first thing I would like to do is go to your website and then you look for the vehicles that you want. So in this recording, I'm going to do two types of vehicles. I'm going to do vehicles, as you guys can see, that's already Fivem ready. And I'm also going to do vehicle that is not Fivem ready. So let's download this vehicle that is Fivem ready. Download. And then the one that's not Fivem ready, that's just an add-on. I'm going to download this. Okay, so we've got the Mazda and we've got the BM. Just minimize this. Alright guys, so for this obviously you're going to use winrar. I'll also leave the link to download this in the description down below. Just make this as small as possible. Alright, so we're going to do the Mazda last because the Mazda requires a bit more effort, if I can put it that way. So we're going to start with the BM, which is already Fivem ready. As you guys can see, there's an add-on. This is now for single player and Fivem for your Fivem server. I'm going to open it up. So what I normally like to do is, especially when I'm opening up or want to add a vehicle, you'll always, if there's a lot of folders guys, let me just go back. Just click on whatever folder there is, click on the name until you see this. Once you see stream and resources and the other files, you just go one back where you see this folder. So then you just drag and drop that folder. And then we close. So once you open up this folder, you'll see, sorry, it's on the other screen, you'll see there's stream, resources, and all those things that you need. And then this folder goes just like this into your Fivem server, but we're going to do that at the end. We first want to make sure that the folders are correct. So one thing that I always do, and this is optional, is that if you go into stream, you see this is the name of the vehicle. So every time you want to spawn vehicle inside a city, this is now for you as a developer, this is the name that you'll use. So I always do this. You don't have to, but I just think it's much easier when it comes to managing your folders and scripts. So I would always like to copy the name, which you guys can see there. I hope you can see. Let me just zoom in a bit more. So always click on the name. And I use the one that says YFD, because if you click on it, it will only give you the name in front of the .yfd. I copy that, which is Control V, and then close that up, and then I change the folder to that same name, which, as you guys can see, it's already been done that way. So then you know that this vehicle is that, you know exactly this folder goes with that vehicle. All right, so this one is done and dusted. We'll leave it one side. So now we go to the Mazda. As you guys can see, once you open the Mazda folder, not all of them are the same. Sometimes they've got a lot of other stuff, but you open up until you get the DLC. All right, So once you've got the DLC, you just move this one side, you open up your OpenIV. You go to any folder. So you'll see, like I said, you can just create a folder inside OpenIV that says mods. But because I'm using this in single play as well, there's quite a few things here. So I've got a folder inside mods that says test. So this is where I throw all my vehicles and where I test them and do whatever I want to do. So in this case, I'm just going to drag and drop this into OpenIV, and then we're going to close this up. And then the next thing I do is click on DLC, and we're going to start off with 𝑥64 vehicles, and then this is the stream folder. So just to show you guys, so this will be, so just so you guys can see how we actually do this and how we compare them, is these three folders will actually go into a stream folder. Okay, so in this case, what we're going to do now is, remember when I said we're going to copy the name of the stream folder, or the folders that's in the stream folder. So I click on my what's this, NB Mazda 3. I'm going to copy that name, Control V. Then we're going to go to the desktop and we're going to create a new folder and we're going to paste. So as you guys can see, the folder is exactly the same as the folder name is exactly the same name as the file. So this file is basically the vehicle. So just to show you guys, if I click on it, there's your vehicle. So now you know your vehicle is working 100%. Okay. All right. So what we do is, I'm just going to keep that. You're going to open up the folder you created for the Mazda. Move this one side. And then you're going to create a new folder. And you're going to call this folder stream. You guys can see there's a stream folder. So then obviously now for this to work as well, you're going to need a vehicles handling DLC and resources, and I can't pronounce this, so I'm not going to pronounce it, guys. I'm not going to make a fool of myself. So I'm going to go into stream, and then we're going to copy the vehicle. See there? Just to compare, there's three folders there, there's three folders there. Okay, so then we go one back. Then you go back to your OpenIV. You're going to go back again. If you're confused, you're going to go to mods, where we started off, on test, DLC, and then we're going to go to data. And you guys will see, here's all the data we need for this vehicle. Right, so we're going to drag and drop this into the main folder. Right, and just close this up. So we've got our main folder, open that folder up. Inside stream, we've got the vehicle, and we've got the text documents. All right. So now you guys see that we've got everything, but we don't have the resources. So what happens is, when it comes to adding vehicles or added vehicles, they don't have a resource. So for Fivem to read your vehicle, there needs to be a resources folder inside your folder you created for your vehicles. So the best thing I always do is I just click on this one, Control copy, and then paste it. So for you guys that if you don't have this folder yet, I'll show you guys how to create one. So again, you're going to open up your Notepad++. Okay, let's just close this one up. You're going to say File. You're going to say New. All right. Okay, there is actually one new. And then you can say File, Save As. All right. So before I do that, just to show you guys. So we need to save it exactly as this. So I'm going to say File, Save As. And it's going to be __. Let me just do this on a desktop, because otherwise it's going to copy. Go to your desktop. Okay. And then you say _ resource. Make sure that the spelling is 100% the same. Then you say .𝐿UA. Okay. Actually put that in capital letters as well, but it's fine. And then you hit save. All right. I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to make sure that it is what it is. So let me just delete this one, guys. Sorry. So remember, the Mazda didn't have a resources folder, so we're creating one now. We open this up. just to make sure that it's working. All right, let's close it again. Now you're going to drag and drop that resources notepad or whatever script or text you created into your master folder. All right, you guys can see there. Now it's exactly the same as this one. So now here comes the part. So now we need these lines. All right, so what I'm gonna do is this whole line I'm gonna put in the description down below, so you guys can always just copy and paste it. So I'm gonna copy this line, copy, close everything up again. We're gonna open up this resource folder and we're gonna hit paste, and then we're gonna hit save. So now you guys have your own. So what I normally do is just say copy again, paste on my desktop. So then whenever I create a new vehicle, I can always just drag and drop and copy this text document. And then you guys are sorted. So I'm going to close it up. So here comes the fun and easy part. So we've created our two vehicles. Now we're going to add them to the server. And it's very simple. So you're going to open up your server. You're going to go to txdata, 𝘙𝑚 framework, resources, and what I've done is I've created a folder called cars. You guys can see, let me just zoom in again. It's great. It's called cars. All right. Let's say you don't have this folder. You don't have a cars folder, and I'll show you guys how to add that. So you're going to say right click, new folder, and I always just like to keep all my folders neat. So I'm just going to call this vehicles, and I'm going to close a bracket. Then I'm going to hit Control A and Control C to copy. All right, so I'm just copying that name of the folder. Then I'm going to go back, and then you're going to open up. You see, let me just go back one more time. 𝘙𝑚 framework. If you go in there, you go to server, and this is obviously where Visual Studio comes in. But obviously, if you don't have Visual Studio, Notepad++ will open up. Then you're going to scroll down, and wherever you find the opening space, so you can actually do this at the end of your server CFG folder. Just going to say enter. You're going to say ensure you need paste, because we added a new folder for the server. So we also need to make sure that the server reads that folder. And for the server to read the folder, you need to add that folder to the server CFG. You guys can see there, it's ensured and it's at the bottom. Okay. And then you just say save. So now what happens is you just go to resources and we go to where's vehicles. There we go, vehicles. So whatever you add into this folder, oh sorry guys, so just to give you guys an example, so you see all these folders that you see here, they are all ensured. All right, so whatever you add into these folders, you don't need to add another line again. All right, so as you guys can see, I already created a cars folder, and this is just for me again. I like my things to be neat, so then I know this is all my bakkies, branded vehicles that's been used for city jobs, coupes, F1 vehicles, gang vehicles. It just makes things much easier. So when I need to delete the vehicle or fix a vehicle, I know exactly if a gang vehicle gives problems, go into the gang and blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm going off the point here. So we've created the folder. Where's the vehicle folder? We've ensured that folder. So now we're going to add those vehicles. So open up. This is the two vehicles we created, and we're going to add them in the folder that has already been ensured. All right, so we have done that, guys. The folders are in the server. But for these vehicles to work, there's one more step. All right, so we're going to close everything. You're going to go to your server folder again, txdata, 𝘙𝑚 framework. Let me just make this bigger, guys. Resources, just make this extra large icons. And we're going to go to, for you guys, it will probably be QB and then 𝘙𝑚 core. So we're going to go to 𝘙𝑚 core. Mine is somewhere here. You're going to go to 𝘙𝑚 core. Remember, 𝘙𝑚 core, guys, very important. After 𝘙𝑚 core, going to be shared. And then we're going to go for vehicles. All right, and double click on that. and then vehicles opens. Let me just close everything again. Okay, so we've opened up the vehicle LUA. So as you guys can see, I've already got quite a few vehicles in here. So for all these vehicles that I've added. So your guys, if you haven't added any vehicle, you will probably have stopped here. You guys can see. You will have probably stopped here around here. So then what you need to do is go to the last one. You hit enter. And then you just, what I normally do is 1, 2, 3, and then I just say new vehicles, enter, and then you can just copy one of these lines here. So we're going to copy this one here, copy, paste. All right, so we've got that. So first thing we're going to start off is a model. So the model is the name of the folder that you guys added. So we're going to go to enclave again. Oh, sorry, there's my server. You're going to go to your server folder, txdata, Q core framework, resources, and we've added those vehicles in the vehicles folder. And this is the 2 vehicles that we've added. So it's 2 vehicles. So before we do anything else, this is what I'm going to do. So we've got 1, copy, enter, paste. So now we've got 2 lines for 2 vehicles. All right. So we're going to start off with the BM, and then where the BM is first. So we're going to click on that. We're going to copy that name exactly like that. We're going to go to model, and we're going to paste that model. All right. Again, second vehicle, this is a Mazda. I'm going to click on that, copy, paste. All right, and that's it. So then you can close your folder, and then you can just work on the document again. So we've got the folder name in here. So when the server starts up, it's going to read the vehicle's LUA as well. And then this will be the name that's going to be displayed if you add this vehicle to your shop or whatever. So we know this is going to be the BM. So we're just going to call it BMW. Just check here, what's the name of it? So this is a i3, right? 2016 i3. So what I like to do is, it's a 2016, so I just put in 16 BM i3. All right. Let me just, if you want to, you can do this. So what we're going to do here, we're going to say brand. We're going to call this BMW. The price, let's make it 200. 1, 2, 3. In the category, and I'll show you guys why this is important. So for this, for the sake of this recording, we're just going to say we're going to call the category new vehicles, right? So you guys can see here, just to give you an idea. So all these vehicles is in the server, but I don't use them. That's why I said not to use vehicles. I can still spawn them, but whoever flies in can't buy them or anything. So I just name them branded cars, because then I know all this is branded vehicles. I just need to fix this one and this one. There we go. As you guys can see, I like my stuff to be neat. Don't worry about the other stuff that you guys see here. This is just for me, for references. All right. So in this case, where's our vehicles? Here we go. So we're going to just say new vehicles, or let's just call it, let's call this. Just want to show you guys something. We're going to call it test vehicle. All right. And the same here. Just make sure it's exactly the same. Test vehicles. And the shop is, so you've got your truck shop, you've got your boat shop, and you've got your PDM and so on, luxury shop. So we don't actually want to put this into a shop right now, but if you do want to put this into the shop, you're just going to put in PDM or whatever shop you're going to use. You guys can see all this is PDM vehicles. All right. But again, guys, if you want another tutorial on this whole shop situation, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll explain that to you guys. But for now, we just want to add the vehicles into the server, so we're not going to put them in any shop. Just want to neaten this up quickly. Right, that's good. So now you save and that's it. So I just need to open up my server quickly, guys. Okay, and we're just gonna restart the server. This is for everything to work 100%. Okay, so it's restarting. It's offline. Just wait for it to go online. And the server is online. Minimize. We go to Fivem. Right, we open up the server. Alright guys, so once you are in your server, to spawn those vehicles, so there's two options. Obviously if you say 𝑡/admin, 𝑡/admin, access denied for command admin. Why? Holy crap. Okay guys, let me just fix this up quickly. Just give me 1 second. Alright guys, sorry about that. So that's sorted. If you guys experience the same issue I just experienced, I'll leave in top, there will be a thing that's gonna pop up there, and I'll show you guys actually how to fix that situation. Anyway guys, so you're gonna say 𝑡/admin, and then this menu is gonna pop up. Alright, you're gonna go to vehicles, spawn vehicles, and if you guys can remember, the category of that two vehicles that we added was test vehicles, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys can see there, test vehicles, and there's our two vehicles. Oh, you see guys, we forgot to do something. You guys can see there, this one says PR4. We actually forgot to rename this. You guys can see this. So just gonna call it Mazda 3. Actually forgot to do that. Very important, guys, but at least we know what it is. I'm just gonna say Mazda, leave the price as it is because we're not worried about that for now. Okay, so we know this is a BM. Click on it and it's working. Lovely stuff. Okay, BM is working now. We expect the BM to work 100% because it was already Fivem ready. Vehicle was with the Mazda, and let's see. Ah, it's working. Lovely stuff. So the Mazda is working. And there you go. Yeah, so the Mazda is working. So there you go, guys. If you have any questions, anything you want me to go over, if you have any ideas, please guys do drop in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, if this was helpful, please guys do give me a thumbs up. Please do give me a follow. It always helps when I see there's a lot of interaction, then I'll always create more videos. Obviously the videos that I'm creating is due to 1 or 2 people that is requesting to see these videos, and then I just create them and then I upload them, because I like to make content that you guys want and you guys need. So yeah, thanks again for joining, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.